Every morning we are born again. What we do today matters most. The trouble is you think you have time. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. The past is already gone. The future is not yet here. There's only one moment for you to live, and that is the present moment. Learning to manage your time effectively can be one of the most difficult tasks you ever undertake. After all, time is our most precious commodity, and there are only 24 hours in a day. But learning to manage your time can also be one of the most rewarding things you ever do. Proper time management can help you get more out of your day and help you achieve your goals. One of the first things you need to do when learning to manage your time is to take a close look at how you currently spend your time. Do you spend most of your time working? Do you spend a lot of time watching TV or surfing the internet? Once you have a good idea of how you currently spend your time, you can start to make changes. If you find that you spend too much time working, try to schedule in some leisure time. Make sure to schedule time for activities that you enjoy, such as reading, spending time with friends or family, or taking part in hobbies. Number 1. Deprioritize your to-do list. Not everything on your list is going to be a top priority. Learn to identify what can wait. There's an old saying that goes, "Time is money," and it's true. If you can't manage your time, you'll end up wasting a lot of both. So how can you get better at managing your time? One way is to deprioritize your to-do list. Not everything on your list is going to be a top priority. Learn to identify what can wait. You may have a long list of things you need to do, but that doesn't mean they all need to be done right away. If something can wait, then let it. This will free up some time so you can focus on what's more important. Of course, this doesn't mean you should put off everything that's not a top priority. That would be a recipe for disaster. But it's important to learn to prioritize and not sweat the small stuff. If you can do this, you'll find that you have a lot more time to focus on the things that are really important to you. Number 2. Make a schedule and stick to it. This will help you use your time more efficiently by knowing when you have to work on certain tasks. Making a schedule is one of the most important steps to efficient time management. It allows you to better plan your time so that you can work on specific tasks during specific blocks of time. This prevents you from wasting time and ensures that you are using your time as efficiently as possible. To make a schedule, start by writing down all of the tasks that you need to complete in a day. Then, break these tasks down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Once you have a list of all the individual tasks that need to be completed, start assigning them to specific blocks of time on your schedule. Make sure to include breaks so that you can rest and rejuvenate yourself. If you try to work nonstop, you will quickly burn out and will be less productive overall. It is also important to be flexible with your schedule. Things will inevitably come up throughout the day that you didn't plan for. Rather than getting stressed out, simply adjust your schedule accordingly. The key is to be flexible and to go with the flow. If you can stick to your schedule, you will find that you are able to accomplish much more than you thought possible. Not only will you be more productive, but you will also have more free time to enjoy the things you love. So make a schedule and stick to it. Your time management skills will thank you. Number 3. Set deadlines for yourself. This will help you stay on track and not procrastinate. When it comes to learning proper time management, one of the most important things you can do is to set deadlines for yourself. This will help you stay on track and not procrastinate. It can be all too easy to start putting things off until later, but if you set a deadline for yourself, then you will be much more likely to stick to it. Make sure that the deadline is realistic and that you give yourself enough time to complete the task. If you find that you are still struggling to stick to your deadlines, then there are a few other things you can try. One is to create a schedule for yourself and make sure that you stick to it. This will help you to see exactly how much time you have for each task and will also make it easier to stick to your deadlines. Another thing you can try is to break up your tasks into smaller chunks. This will make them seem less daunting and will also help you to focus on each individual part. This can be especially helpful if you have a large project that you are working on. Lastly, Make sure to reward yourself once you have completed a task. This will help to motivate you and will make it more likely that you will stick to your time management goals in the future. Number 4. Take breaks. Breaks are essential in order to avoid burnout. Make sure to schedule in some time for yourself. It's important to schedule breaks into your day in order to avoid burnout. Breaks are a time for you to recharge, and they can help improve your focus and concentration. Here are some tips for taking breaks. Take a few minutes to yourself every few hours. Step away from your work and take some deep breaths. Maybe do some stretches or take a walk around the block. Use your break time to do something that you enjoy. Whether it's reading, listening to music, or taking a quick nap, make sure to do something that relaxes you. Schedule your breaks ahead of time so that you don't forget to take them. Put a reminder in your calendar or set an alarm on your phone. If possible, take a longer break once in a while. A longer break will give you more time to relax, and it can help rejuvenate you. Taking breaks is essential in order to avoid burnout. Make sure to schedule in some time for yourself. By following these tips, you can make the most of your break time and come back to work feeling refreshed and ready to focus. Number 5. Learn to say no. You can't do everything, and that's okay. Don't overcommit yourself. You can't do everything, and that's okay. Sometimes it's necessary to say no in order to maintain your sanity and well-being. Overcommitment is a surefire recipe for burnout. It's important to know your limits and to stick to them. If you're already stretched thin, taking on additional obligations is only going to make things worse. Saying no isn't always easy, but it's almost always the right choice when you're feeling overwhelmed. If you're saying yes to everything, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're likely to end up feeling frazzled and stressed, and you probably won't be able to give your best effort to anything. It's okay to put your own needs first and to decline invitations or requests that will add to your burdens. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. In fact, it's often the most considerate thing you can do. When you're already overworked, taking on additional responsibilities is only going to make things worse for you and those you care about. So don't be afraid to put your foot down and set some boundaries. Number 6. Delegate or outsource. If you're feeling overwhelmed, see if there's someone else who can help you with some of the work. It's important to know when you're feeling overwhelmed and need to delegate or outsource some of your work. If you're struggling to keep up with everything, it may be helpful to ask for help from somebody else. There's no shame in admitting that you need help and can't do everything on your own. In fact, delegating or outsourcing can be a very smart move. It can free up your time so that you can focus on other things, and it can also give you a chance to learn from somebody else. Of course, you need to be careful about who you delegate or outsource to. Make sure that you choose somebody who is reliable and who you can trust to do a good job. If you're not sure, you can always ask for recommendations from friends or colleagues. Delegating or outsourcing can be a great way to manage your time effectively. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to ask for help. Number 7. Be flexible. Things come up and plans change. Be prepared to adjust your schedule accordingly. Life is full of surprises, and sometimes those surprises means that our plans have to change. Being flexible and adjusting our schedule accordingly is an important skill to have in order to maintain a healthy balance in our lives. Time management is often thought of as a way to make us more productive and efficient. However, being able to manage our time effectively is also about being able to be flexible with our plans. Things come up, and sometimes we have to adjust our schedule in order to accommodate for those unexpected events. Being prepared for the unexpected is one way to help reduce the amount of stress that comes with having to make last-minute changes. It is also important to be mindful of the way we respond to changes in our plans. If we can remain calm and positive, it will be much easier to make the necessary adjustments without feeling overwhelmed. Practicing flexibility in our daily lives can help us to be more prepared for the challenges that come our way. It is a valuable skill to have that can help us to maintain a sense of balance and peace in our lives. In conclusion, Learning to proper time management is an important skill for everyone. By taking the time to learn this skill, you can set yourself up for success in all areas of your life. Time management is not only about knowing how to plan and organize your time, but also about knowing how to use your time wisely. When you know how to manage your time, you can achieve your goals and improve your productivity.